consequences of our action should be relegated, marginalized, and put in the basement as a pilot project in two inconsequential and, in one case, a canceled effort, is that the principle that guides the current Board of Supervisors is not necessarily the public good, but rather private profit. Most of the members of this board have a personal political philosophy that the purpose of government is to remove regulation from the backs of those superior individuals with major resources and assets who want to maximize profit by converting nature into money and garbage. And that, if you want to look at how we would apply, a green government would apply the precautionary principle, they wouldn't waste time applying it to mosquitoes. They would apply it to the Harris Quarry, which promises to pump thousands of cubic yards of pollutants into the lungs of Mendocino County residents for 100 years. It's grease for the skids on December 16th. So Supervisor Wattenberger can form part of the majority to vote that in. If the Green Board of Supervisors had the precautionary principle, it would guide every decision, including hiring and staff structure, the number of fat bureaucrats that are collecting luxurious county paychecks. It would apply to your travel. It would apply across the board. And that's the difference that we face in here today, that this Board of Supervisors, by relegating the precautionary principle to two insignificant pilot projects, are expressing contempt as it reflected in Supervisor Pinch's questioning of 100 staff hours being spent on whether or not the public should be involved in deciding which manner of controlling mosquito larvae this august government should pursue. Thank you.
By all means, you're welcome. Members of the public wishing to speak to this item.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm Bob Parker, resident of beautiful Redwood Valley, and today I represent Rediscover Freedom, which is halfway between a notion and a movement. We're not yet a political party, but that's a possibility in the future. Who knows? We support the general philosophy of the precautionary principle to the appropriate degree. If we over-apply the precautionary principle, well, we're concerned that there may be a situation of unintended consequences, as Supervisor Koufax often points out quite rightly, that the best intentions could sometimes lead to unfortunate consequences without a very thorough and wise consideration of a given matter. We do, however, and such unintended consequences could have a major impact to the negative degree on not only the safety and health of our citizens, but the economic well-being. In some cases, immediate or at least prompt deliberate action is warranted without a total possibly application of the precautionary principle. Again, it's a matter of common sense. What we do totally support is the open and transparent operations of government aspects of the precautionary principle. It's our notion that government operations, especially at the local level, should be completely honest and open, transparent. The citizens should have very much an impact, like we see the speakers today. And there are some circumstances at the higher level of government, say at the federal level, that some amount of secrecy is warranted, just for, again, the well-being of our nation's citizens. On the local level, however, that would very much be the exception to the rule. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Other members of the public wishing to speak to the precautionary principle procedure report. Seeing no one step forward, what's the action of the board? Just receive the report.
David? Go ahead, after you.
Senior,
I'm sorry.
please.
I would move that the recommended motion that we accept the report and the recommendations therein. Having sat on the early stages of the efforts to move this forward, I think it's been an accomplishment. I think a lot has been learned along the way. I think county's been very, very responsive. Department of Public Health in particular has been very much involved. The Water Agency very much involved, and appreciate that mindset. And I think moving to the mindset, being able to talk about a mindset, being there in the departments is probably the major accomplishment that we would have been aiming for at the outset. So in that regard here, I regard this as a great success. Hope the mindset becomes totally, completely part of the thinking with regard to projects that come forward, and I don't see no reason why it should not be.
Supervisor Delmer.
I think you got a motion, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Skeeter, to me, when we're dealing with potential layoffs and furloughs with a state government that's spending like drunken sailors and putting us into a financial bind that we